Welcome to Tylervision, Tense TV. I'm your host, Robert Louis Tyler I. And tonight I had a couple of announcements this year. The 4th of July is going to be on July 4th this year. They posted it. And so I kind of feel like a room without a roof. And so I was going to tell you about this, well, I'll tell you about it, right? You know, I had this back in the Caribbean, had this bird, 6 months old, Sinbad.
Yeah.
Gold and blue macaw, right? You know,
Yeah.
and he's 6 months old, and he could say Tyler, you know, and he'd lay on his back, play dead, you know, hang by his heels, right? Stuff like that. And work, you know, and people are like, hey, why don't you take that back where he came from, right? You know, it's terrible that you have him in captivity down here in the Caribbean, in the jungle, right? You know, I go, he's born in New Jersey. You want to send him back to New Jersey? It's like in the snow, right? You know, so he's 6 months old. You know, he wasn't born; he was hatched, but you know, technically, right? But I'd take pictures with the tourists with him, you know, and I go, yeah, he walks, he talks, he walks, he crawls on his belly like a reptile. And for all you antisocial, paranoid, schizophrenic, psychotic, neurosis, neurotic overtones, we got some crazy pictures we can take with you today. He hangs by his heels. That's it. And for all you computational fluid dynamics engineers, we got some quadrifoils and curvilinear triangles. And so we just like, but he was like a little cannibal, you know. I have like a chicken sandwich from like Burger King. He'd reach over and grab a bite and eat the chicken.
Wow.
I'm like, no, he's on a special diet, like, you know, tropical. It looked like trail mix with fruit and stuff in it, you know, and stuff. So he's like trying to eat chicken. I was like, wow, he's like a cannibal or something, right? But his bite would be like he could snap your finger in half like a broomstick.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, and he'd bite, and he'd just look at me, and I'm like, and then he wouldn't do nothing like that. So tonight I was going to tell you, I was like the Steve Irwin of the Caribbean, or Steve Urkel, Steve Irwin of the Caribbean, right? So I want to introduce my first guest, Lynette Lyon, on the show, and she came in with, if you remember, Kiara, the African Serval Cat, came on, and then I found out that cat had been on Jimmy Kimmel Live, right, and the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and then your camel, Kazi, was on Hallmark Television?
Yeah, Kazi was on quite a few shows.
Dang, I thought only Tylervision they had done, you know, so
yeah.
I was like...
And Kiara was almost kidnapped by Jay Leno. He
Whoa,
really likes cats,
wow.
So he was ready to take her home.
Really? Yeah.
My porcupine went on Jimmy Kimmel. You haven't met the porcupine yet.
That's right. Yeah.
He
Jimmy
loved
Kimmel
that
Live show. And yeah, Jay Leno wanted to. That was just before he retired, right?
Just so it was before he retired. It's a year and a half ago.
Yeah. So tonight we have a very special guest. I want to I want to introduce a fine young wallaby by the name of, her name is Kipper, and she's from Australia. And this is Kipper here, and it's the longest eyelashes I've ever seen on these little
This is a desert wallaby. So they would be found in southeastern Australia, a lot of desert, and a lot of desert animals tend to have very long, thick eyelashes to help block out sand and dust.
Like the camels do,
exactly.
Right? Same idea. How about the nostrils, like camels too?
Her nostrils really don't. She has a very tiny nose.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, she's taking a bath right now. I can't really stop that. At least she's clean.
Is that how they do that?
Yeah, they
like a little kitty?
just like a kitty cat. So she's grooming right now. But they have tiny little noses, not a great sense of smell, but really good hearing, really great eyesight.
No, I heard their diet is they just eat bacon and that's it, right? Nothing else? Or?
No, that's me.
Oh, okay.
What these guys are herbivores, so
okay.
They eat plant matter.
Oh.
She's going to eat leaves, roots, grasses. Being a desert animal, she doesn't have a lot of access to proper fruits and vegetables.
Right.
So a lot of leaves, a lot of dry grasses, things like that.
Any cactus? No.
I don't believe so,
Not
no.
really.
It would be mostly roots and things.
So do you have to get the special, like, wallaby mix off the
We
shelf at
do.
at Petco or somewhere?
Actually, yeah, we special order it from, it's a zoo dealer, and what they do is they make food specifically for zoo animals, and they make giraffe chow, they make porcupine chow, and they make wallaby chow, which I guess is different from kangaroo chow because...
From the checkerboard squares? It's like right on the side of the box.
The wallaby chow, that's exactly what it's called, and we special order it, yeah.
So at the end of the show, we have you in the credits, and it'll say lionranch.org and Lion Ranch. at AOL.com, and your phone number, and anybody needs to get a hold of you for any reason. So get a pen and paper, for later in the show. At the end of the show, write these credits down, and then, of course, I have you in the credits. I think I typed in Kipper's. Yeah, I typed in Kipper's name in the credits, but I forgot to type. So we have a secret surprise guest coming on later in the show. So I didn't write. No, don't say anything. But I didn't write his name in yet. But we'll introduce him later. Secretly, it's a surprise guest we'll introduce later on the show. And so what I want to know is like what kind of flora and fauna is he acclimated to? Like, what kind of climate does he hang out? I mean, just desert. Yeah, just desert, and what? I mean, he's just like, and over here, do you have to simulate that? Do you have to build like sand and kind of like cactuses or something around the room or something to make him feel comfortable at home, or he doesn't know?
Though it's really dry there,
she doesn't know.
Yeah, she.
Sorry.
Though it's really dry there, she doesn't have a lot of sand.
Right.
She would be on hard, dry, flat ground. What's really great about deserts that a lot of people don't realize, it doesn't just get really hot. It also gets very cold. And these are these are some of the most adaptable of the wallabies. So they can take spiking temperatures well over 100 degrees, or they can take temperatures that, snow and ice. Yeah. They do just fine, which is really nice for me. I don't have to really do a lot. This is we're in Northern California. It doesn't get much more temperate than this. She's fine.
So she's quite flexible. This is like perfect weather for her, like 100 degrees today. And
she's perfectly comfortable.
50 tonight.
Exactly.
So it's like just perfect, right?
Yeah, she's perfectly comfortable in just about anything.
Now, how old is she?
Technically 10 months. Now, she is a pouched mammal.
That was my next question.
Yes.
I was going to say, now, do you have to, is there a mother that carries, or do you have to carry, or how does that work?
So the whole thing with age is it's kind of hard to judge their proper age because when they're born,
they've been hidden away in this pouch.
They're this big when they're born.
Like a little embryo climbing out of the pouch.
Exactly. And
with
then
no
they grow
hair.
up.
Yeah,
and they grow up in the pouch for months, up to 7 months. And so I got her at approximately 7 months old. So I've had her for 3 months. But she is a little pouch because she is a girl, so she has a little tiny nickel-sized.
Oh, she has her own pouch.
Yeah, she has her own pouch that's on her belly.
Do you have to carry her in a pouch? Or?
I am carrying her in a pillowcase now.
Oh, that's like a makeshift pouch?
That is She has a proper pouch.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Is it fur lined? No.
It's rainbow tie-dye. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's insulated, so it's a little, she'd be fine in it, but I feel like, oh, that's got to be too warm.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you're not, Mom, really? Come on, I'm fine. So I put her in a pillowcase for the day.
Speaking of tie-dye, did you hear about those people that had the cat and they tried to feed it the, what was it, the diet?
Oh, the vegan diet.
The vegan diet, and they almost killed this cat. They had to rush to the hospital because it can't live on. It's like they were giving him like spinach or something.
Cats are obligate
cats
carnivores.
Cannot live on spinach.
It's funny. It doesn't matter how much protein you give them if they don't get the meat and the acids in the meat. They can't make it.
And amino acids and stuff too.
Exactly. Yeah. Please don't eat the microphone. Yeah, there we go. I heard your insurance won't cover that. So
does she drink a lot of water?
She doesn't drink a lot. Considering her size, she's 6 pounds. So, and being from the desert, she's very conservative with her water.
Now, would she drink water like us, or does she have a bottle or something?
She has a bowl that she drinks out of. Mimic a little pond.
Adult enough to do that.
Yes, she is. It's very nice that she was weaned when she was, because having 2 baby foxes, 2 baby other things that I'll introduce you in a bit, and
that's true.
And a baby wallaby. It's exhausting.
And remember that African fox, the desert fox? No, that you brought on.
Trixie.
Sounds like we're talking about Rommel, but Trixie. Yeah.
I brought Trixie on the show.
Yeah.
Yes, Trixie went to her new home a few months ago, so she's doing fine. She just went to her new home a few months ago.
Good. Not her new home in heaven, but
no.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good.
In Monterey.
Okay. Oh,
so it's beautiful.
Such a cute puppy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kiara, I'm sorry.
Kiara.
So cool. Because she'd come up and butt heads when he's like, boom, boom.
She was, she enjoyed that very much.
Bump heads with you, and it was like, that was fun. It's cool. Right. So, what everybody wants to know is your phone number. So, your home private cell phone number. No, I'm sorry. No, not it. Maybe they do, but they're not getting it right.
Yes.
You know what a fish is with no eyes?
The
A fish with no eyes? No. It's because there's no eyes in it.
Oh, okay, it's a joke.
Oh, yeah. I usually have to explain my jokes. When I tell jokes, I say, now this is the beginning of the joke, and this is the, and then nobody still laughs, and I go, let me explain that one.
No, I wasn't. No. I wasn't sure if you meant fishing like with the PH, like the illegal fishing where they steal money from people after calling their private home numbers. Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that. I want to learn how to do that. But no, just kidding. No, just kidding.
So I wasn't sure if we
Send in your PIN numbers. We have a live call, and you can send in your PIN numbers, your bank account. No,
exactly.
Just kidding. No, we can go fishing. No, just kidding.
So I was a little lost. I'm sorry.
No, my jokes give everybody a little lost. I was like I told the other one. I had a dream. I had a dream of this joke. So I told it like a couple weeks ago, and I just had this dream, and the guy goes, "What is a?" He said, "What is like a suicidal, like on a suicide mission, a pilot from Russia with a hunchback, right?" And then I go, "I don't know what." In the dream, I said, "I don't know what." And the guy goes, "It's a kamikaze." I'm like, "Oh, a kamikaze." And it's a weird dream, so I told it on the air. And I don't think anybody else got that one either. So I had a little big communist flag with a sickle and a hammer. So,
A for effort.
Kamikaze, yeah.
A for effort.
Kamikaze. So now, is there any? Do you guys need like help or support with feeding all these animals? Is there a place that people can donate money for? I know because you got quite a crowd.
We do. We have about 60 animals.
Wow.
Most of them, she's not included in this, but most of them are rescue.
Right.
We take our animals, of course, into nursing homes and hospitals. And so we do allow people to donate. There's a PayPal account on lionranch.org, which is our website.
Vine Ranch?
Lion Ranch.
Lion Ranch.
Lyon.
Oh, I've got that in the credits. Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was another one. I'm like, I didn't get that one. Yeah, okay, I got
Something different.
Yeah, lionranch.org. Got that. And they can just go PayPal and
Exactly.
there and feed the little Joey right here. And,
well, it always helps, but most of it goes to the rescue.
Yeah. Kipper would appreciate some of that, going to the rescue as well for the others.
Exactly.
Because she knows others need, their eyelashes are just so cute.
I don't know what she smells
like
on your couch.
eyelashes, right? Oh,
She smells something on your couch. She's trying to eat it.
It was my guest last week. It was DJ Adam Baum was on the show. So. And he was probably sitting right there. Maybe
smells fantastic.
His cologne got right there, and she likes it. So something like that. Look at those legs.
Yeah, speaking of jokes, look at these feet.
Wow.
She's got this funny little
It's like
T-Rex body with
ostrich legs
Yeah.
and
her little tiny
T-Rex
paws.
arms. Yeah.
Her little tiny paws and then these massive legs. They're actually called macropods, which means big feet.
Right.
So that's
instead of macro.
Exactly.
And pod as in foot.
As in foot.
That's
Would
logical.
you stop eating the couch?
She's like, really? Yeah.
Like, I want people to see you being cute, but
So funny.
yeah, well, she's determined to eat my microphone,
Right.
and then she's determined to eat your couch.
You want her to stick her back in the bag?
You want to go back in your bag?
And pull out another surprise gift. We got about 13 minutes left. We could probably introduce another guest.
Well, I'll bring him out and
if you wanna
absolutely.
do the old switcheroo, I'll
Switcheroo.
Let me.
Oh, speaking real quick of marsupials, we do have one marsupial right here in the United States that nobody thinks about because it's not as cute as a wallaby.
Is it a rodent? No.
No, no marsupials are rodents.
Okay. Sorry.
But it looks like one.
Yeah.
It's an opossum.
Oh yeah.
It's the North American or
And do
Virginia.
they do pouches too?
They do. Called the Virginia or North American opossum. Everyone just calls them possums.
Right.
But there are true possums in South America, so they're technically opossums.
Well, you know,
Oh,
you want
our
me to
next.
put this up here?
Yes, our next guest is asleep.
Okay. Well, you know, the possums like to come up on the porch and eat cat food and dog
Yes,
food.
they do.
And they seem to be pretty good pets sometimes. So.
They're not really smart enough to care about most stuff.
They don't really give
Nahndi.
a darn right about anybody or any. They don't.
Our next guest is deciding that he is too sleepy to make an appearance.
Okay.
No, I got him. Come here. Oh, we're so tired. Life is so tough.
You know, now cats sleep about 20. The wild, like lions, they sleep about 20 hours a day. Now, what about these guys?
Oh, they sleep a lot. For anyone who doesn't recognize this is, of course, Kiara's younger brother. His name is Nahndi.
Is that her brother?
Yes, he's her full-blooded brother.
Now, this is Nahndi, the little boy, the African Serval kitten, right?
Yes.
and on the back of their head, it looks like they got 2 eyes. Is that like so that somebody sees them, they're, I'm not attacking, they're looking at me.
Precisely.
Oh, really?
Those
Okay.
are called ocelli, or eye spots, designed for tricking larger predators.
Tricked me. I was like a larger predator, and I'm like, hey, what's he looking at? So he's like right there.
He's going to go snack on your cameraman.
Oh, yeah.
There. What a boy.
Yeah. Shout out to Barry Thompson. He's our cameraman. He's our technical director. He's our floor manager. He's like a sound man. He's like a little bit of everything. He's very much appreciated. Good guy. He's a gentleman and a scholar.
And soon to be a snack.
He works to eliminate polio worldwide, so he's a good man about that. Oh, hello.
Yes, he is a baby,
And
so he's going through that kitten phase.
And
where
it's Nahndi?
Nahndi, Nahndi, Nahndi.
Nahndi, Nahndi.
In Nahndi, there is a Nahndi tribe in Africa where these would reside, but that's not how he got his name.
Right.
When I first got him, he was 9 days old, and he was the fattest serval I had ever seen. He looked a bit like a bowling ball with fur. I mean, he was just round, and he was tiny little ears, and this tiny little snub face, and he looked like a bear. And so I started doing research, because there used to be bears in Africa, but they've all gone extinct.
Right.
But there's a legend about a bear in Africa called the Nahndi bear.
Ah.
And so we named him Nahndi in honor of the Nahndi bear.
That was going to be another question I had, because I saw you had like and I know there's a Watusi tribe in Africa, but you also have a Watusi, what is it, water buffalo?
We have it's called a Watusi cattle.
Cattle.
It's just a cow. They're a domestic cow, but they're beautiful, aren't they?
I've never heard of that. Yeah,
They're
and
big,
the horns are just
red,
like, kind of reminds me of
horn span.
kind of reminds me of those in Vietnam, the water buffalo, those horns that come out like that, so it's swooped out so nice.
They have these they're very interesting. They stick straight out, so they don't curve. They just straight out.
They're so long. It's like a longhorn cattle kind of looking.
And the one you probably saw, yes, the Watusi cattle, and the one you probably saw was Norman.
Norman, that's who it was.
And Norman moved to Missouri, where he is a mascot for a ranch there, and they ride him in parades. They ride on his 8-foot long horns. Oh, he loves it.
He does. He loves it.
He is so mellow.
He's like, he's like the center of attention now.
All the time. Yeah. But we'd have kept him, but our trailer couldn't, we're going to run out of room. 8-foot horn span, what are you going to do?
Well, you get you
get a bigger trailer.
Terrible. It's like, that is the cutest little.
He's very something.
Yeah, a little African serval kitten, Nahndi, and he's quite playful.
Yes.
Now, how many months old is this guy?
He will be 10 weeks tomorrow.
10 weeks?
Yes.
Wow.
Would you stop? And so you can see his eyes are still real blue. And he still obviously has a lot of growing to do.
Oh, yeah.
He is about a third size larger than Kiara was at this age. So we're hoping he'll hit about 30 pounds.
Is that because he's a male and she was a female? Or?
It's possible. Mm-hmm. I've met the males are generally larger than the females.
Right.
So that's
So we got about 6 minutes. Got plenty of time to hang out.
Well, you were asking about his sleeping patterns.
Yeah. No, because does he sleep like a lot of? Do they catnap?
Yeah. Well, he's a kitten.
Okay.
So he doesn't sleep as much as mom or dad would.
Right.
He will eventually.
Okay.
The thing about cats, actually, a lot of animals in the wild, it's called efficiency. Humans would call it laziness. You conserve energy.
Exactly.
You do the least amount you can for the most amount of profit.
Right.
And camels are a great example of this. Our 2 camels, they will grab a flake of hay, rip it around and spread it around themselves, lie in the middle of it, and just eat circles around themselves while slowly inching forward. And that is as efficient, or in human terms, as lazy as it gets. But I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because with babies and with humans, the babies sleep longer, and adults, we sleep less. Like I sleep 5 hours a night, and I'm up 19 hours a day, because I got things to do, right? So I'm like, but the cats are just opposite, right?
Yeah, well, they're
efficient. The babies stay awake more a little bit, and the parents sleep more and rest and reserve that energy for hunting and whatnot.
Well, at this age, he has a lot of learning to do. Not a lot of hunting or anything, but he has a lot of learning.
Right.
So play with just about any animals that's learning, that's school.
Right.
So he's practicing his hunting right now. He's practicing. He's camouflaging on your couch quite
yeah.
nicely, I might
Yeah.
add.
We'll have to put him in front of your blue.
You're almost
There,
invisible.
that's a little more contrast right
Hey.
there, huh? With that blue background.
Invisible serval.
Yeah, this couch is and African servals just blend right in, don't they, on there, right?
When Kiara was on Jay Leno, of course, she sat on his desk and basically went to sleep. This guy is like, nope, I got stuff to do.
He's just the nervous Nelly.
Oh, not even that. He's just like, I have places to be,
Yeah,
people to see.
He's kind of like me. I got like a lot of energy. I got something to do here. Yeah. Hey. Yep. So now there's the spots on the back. Is that for camouflage too?
So when we were talking earlier, what it does, of course, is it tricks larger predators into thinking he can see them. Those are actually called ocelli or eye spots.
And the other spots are just for like.
So the white spots are the ocelli. The black spots are, or the black is that's just markings.
And the climate that they're acclimated to in what part of Africa? They're from
Sub-Saharan, in the grasslands.
Okay, I was going to say in the savannah.
In the savannah.
It is? Oh, okay.
Parts of it.
That's
but
what I was going to
anywhere,
guess. So.
yeah, anywhere south of the Sahara, they're really quite adaptable.
So grasses will blend in with the background.
Grasses help, but they're actually designed for when they're sleeping under bushes.
Right, it looks like shadows of leaves coming down on their back. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
That makes sense. That's logical then, right? Yeah.
Yes. He's still learning about the harness.
He's like a jack in the box. He's like, boom, crank him up.
He's still trying to figure out the harness.
Did you give him coffee before he came on the show? Or?
No,
okay.
I would rue the day.
So, he drunken fell off the couch on too much.
Told you that wasn't water.
I don't know, too much catnip, maybe. Right? Yeah, there's a little vodka there, too. Now, what is his diet?
Right now.
He's a wild and crazy guy.
He's very busy.
Bouncing off the walls here. Oh, he's seeing things
right
too.
Now,
he's hallucinating wildly, isn't he?
It's the air in the studio.
Yeah.
So at this age, he is eating raw meat. He just started with that. Actually, Kiara, the one you met, I gave her raw meat the first time, and instantly she's like, this is the stuff for me. I love it. This is great. She was 3 weeks old.
Nice.
5 weeks rolls around. He won't touch it.
Really?
He won't look at it. It's the worst stuff on the planet. Mom, you're going to have to get up every 3 hours and still feed me milk because I'm not touching that. So one day I just opened his mouth and put a little piece of meat in, and this is at 6 weeks. Suddenly he goes, oh, I can eat this. Did you know that? And so then...
So he's sold, right?
Yeah, now he eats it. I mix it with milk, and he gets his calcium that way.
Now, do they they're nowhere near the ocean, so they don't fish, right? They're nowhere near lakes or ponds, so they don't do any fishing. They don't eat
on
fish.
The grasslands, there are lots of shallow. They won't go near deep water because deep water is generally there are going to be predators. But they do spend quite a bit of time in shallow water.
Right.
So they will hunt for frogs and small fish.
Right.
But no, that big deep water, there's crocodiles, there's hippos.
Because everybody comes to drink, right?
Exactly.
It's just like a bar around here. Everybody comes in to drink, and they're all predators. Right?
They call them water holes for a reason.
That's true, huh? I never thought about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're all predators too, huh? They're all coming around. Hey.
Yes, and so he would do everything he could to avoid that.
Right.
They don't like confrontation much, clearly.
And how big do they get? I mean, how tall and how much do they weigh as well?
He could be, if he were sitting, and his head were up, he would hit about 2.5 feet fully grown. Right. If that. I'm hoping he hits 30 pounds.
About from here to the bottom of this chair, probably about, right?
Yeah, so, let's see. So he'll hit about that tall from the ground to here. Maybe. That's a little tall, so we'll go with that.
And weight?
I'm hoping 30 pounds.
30 pounds? Because they're lean like a puma or
they're very tall. They're very lean.
Like what is the cheetah? Are really lean too, right? Because they're so fast.
A lot of people make comparisons to the cheetah because
they're fast and skinny.
Well, cheetahs hit 70 miles an hour, but they can only jump about 5 feet straight up in the air. Right. Servals can run 35 miles an hour, but they can jump 10 feet straight up in the air.
I saw him jump about 6 feet a little while ago. It's like what's a jack in a box, right? He's popping up.
If he
and we got about 2 minutes left, so.
All right, bud.
Wow. I should do a quick couple of shout outs so that people can get a hold of you and everything.
All right.
Really quick. I know time flies when you're doing a live show, huh? So, boy howdy, give it up for our African Serval kitten right here in the live studio, right here. Kipper as well, Nahndi and Kipper on the show. And always a pleasure to work with Lynette Lyon on the show. So, guests of the Tylervision stay in character transportation provided by their own mama's pouch, right?
Yeah.
And we'd like to thank our guests, Lynette Lyon, Nahndi, Kipper, myself, and our sponsor, Sal the Flower Guy, brings in these flowers every week faithfully for the last year and a half. Doc at Doc's Trophy Shop here in town presents these music awards, provides the music awards for our musical guests on the show every time. And Lou at Furniture for Less, he's bringing in all new furniture, our new sponsor, called him up and said, hey, can you get some, switch this stuff out? Come get whatever you need, brand new. I'm like, cool. Thank our live studio audience, our TV studio audience, and got some headshots for everybody, some party gifts you'll never want to part with, so you can sell these on eBay later on and make a fortune, right? And also we have a new car for our live studio audience. And who put that in my desk? Oh, no. This said, I don't know where that came from. So, and anyway, God bless you and yours. So, till next time, America, don't forget us on YouTube, Tylervision 707 on YouTube. And until next time, America. And pretty much we're out of here. And there he goes. That was a bad move. I should have never did that. Right? He's like, oh, soccer. Did he watch the soccer game today?
He did with much more enthusiasm than me.
Now, does he watch? Okay.
Little things running back and forth on the platform.